God will take care of you. Regardless to what you are going through in life, the songwriter reminds us, God will take care of us. Through every day of toil, when heart doth fail, God will take care of you. When dangers face your path assail, God will take care of you. God will take care of you through every day over all the way. He will take care of you. God will take care of you. Today, I want you to know that you can trust the Lord, that He will take care of you all. We closed in our last devotion as we were speaking about leprosy, and I went ahead and explained to you the degree of this thing, this sickness that is called leprosy. May I say to you that a person suspected of having leprosy was taken to the priest for examination according to Leviticus chapter 13, verse 1 to 8. If what the person has seemed more than a skin problem, he would be in isolation or in quarantine. He'd be quarantined for 7 days. According to scripture, if after those 7 days the symptoms become worse, he would be isolated for another 7 days. At the end of those 7 days, and he is worse, then he'll be pronounced unclean. His clothes were to be torn, his head uncovered, his mouth covered to prevent the spread. He was to cry, unclean, wherever he went to warn others to stay clear of him. Jesus is coming down off of the mount where he was preaching to the disciples from chapter 5 of Matthew. And now we are in chapter 8 and verse 1. As he comes down, this leper meets him. Leprosy was a serious disease, and many people despise lepers. One ancient rabbi said, when I see a leper, I stone him, as he come too close to me. Another said, I would not so much as to eat an egg that was purchased on a street where a leper had walked. Could you imagine? This man, who was a leper, came to Jesus and bowed down to him, saying, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. Bear in mind that this man is declared unclean. As far as society is concerned, the leper was out of place to come to Jesus. But as he came, there are 4 things that stood out in his approach. Number 1, he came to Jesus with confidence. Never before had he known of any leper coming to Jesus. He no doubt sensed a love and tenderness in Jesus that would allow him to approach him. He was not afraid that he would be stoned. He sensed that Jesus was not afraid of him. Neither was he ashamed to be associated with him. He refused to shout to Jesus from a distance, unclean, like he had to do. He approached him directly, and without hesitation, he knew he needed him to cure him. He knew that Jesus was able to cure him. What he was not sure about was if Jesus was willing to cure him. But he came to Jesus with confidence. Not only that I have found that he came to Jesus with confidence, I have found that he came to Jesus in reverence. While it is true that he was somewhat bold in coming to Jesus, he also came in humility. When he came to Jesus, the scripture says, he bowed himself to the ground. This carries the meaning of prostrate or worship. Notice these verses found in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. In Matthew chapter 2, verse 11, the Bible said, and when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshiped him. I want us to stop and pay attention to these verses. What did they do when they went to the house and found the child? They fell down, big grown men, fell down and worshiped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold, frankincense, and more. Notice worship. They fell down and then they worship him by presenting their treasures. In Matthew chapter 4, verse 9, the scripture said, and said unto him, all these things I will give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Even Satan knows that true worship, falling down, is included. Bowing, humbling oneself is in worship. John Mark wrote in chapter 1, verse 40, he said, and there came a leper to him, beseeching him, and kneeling down to him, and saying unto him, if thou wilt, thou can make me clean. Kneeling down. Luke wrote in chapter 5, verse 12, and I'll stop here for now. And it came to pass when he was in a certain city, behold, a man full of leprosy, who seeing Jesus fell on his face and besought him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou can make me whole or clean. You see, this leper here in chapter 8, verse 2, he addressed him as Lord. To me, that is reverence. He recognized Jesus for who he is, Lord. He could have addressed him as Sir, but he chose Lord. This leper on the outside had things happening to his body that was all wrong. But on the inside, he had it all right. For he believed that Jesus was Lord, and he knew only the Lord could help him. There's a third thing that I have noticed about this leper. What is it? He came humbly, expecting, but not demanding. He was far different to many today who demand of God, and they try to tell God what he must do. His approach to the Lord was, Lord, if you are willing. He asked the Lord to heal him only if it is his will. It seems as if he was willing to remain a leper if it were not his will. All he did was to acknowledge Jesus' ability to heal him. That humble spirit is nothing like the demand of some people today. He claimed no rights to his healing. His first concern was not his healing, but God's will. There's a lesson we can learn from all of this. There's something else I've noticed. I have noticed he came to Jesus in confidence and in faith. He declared, Lord, you can heal me if it's your will. In other words, he is saying, Lord, you have the power to heal me. I know you have the power to clean me. He knew that Jesus was not obligated to heal him. He also knew that Jesus was powerful enough to do it. He reminds me of the Hebrew boys before King Nebuchadnezzar. In Daniel chapter 3, verse 17 and 18, the boy said, if it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand. They told him, if you don't bow, then you'll be thrown in the fire. The Hebrew boy said, if you throw me in the fire, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the book of Daniel, he said, that's no problem. That's no problem. We know that our God is able to deliver us from the fire, and he's able to deliver us out of your hands. But this is what is amazing about these men. In verse 18 of chapter 3 of Daniel, he says, but if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. They knew God was able, but if he chose not to deliver them, they were satisfied to be born. What a message. When we ask God to do something for us, we must first of all understand that it is by his will he operates. And we cannot demand him to do anything. We must humbly go to him and seek his will if we are going to get anything from him. But the story continues, in which I will share with you in our next devotion. Thank you so very much for listening. My time is up, but I'm anxious to get back with you in our next devotion. Do have a great day. We love you. Continue serving the Lord. Continue sharing, but stay tuned for the next devotion.